just gonna say it because I don't think anyone else is saying it. We need to rebrand singles events. Okay, there are some that are cute. There are, but majority of them are not so cute. And majority of them sound enticing, and then you get there and it's like not the vibe. Okay, I've had multiple friends now tell me when they're going to singles events because I've become like the designated single person that goes to all the things and tells you if they're good or not. And I've had multiple friends now go to multiple singles events around the city and they were awful. And I just feel like that shouldn't be the norm. Like, it shouldn't be like you have to find like the one singles event that's good. The majority should be good. We gotta figure something out, because I'm telling you, like right now, I do understand why that is the most tempting way to meet somebody in person, because you know automatically like the people there are gonna be single, they're looking, but like it's not, I don't know if it's doing what it needs to do. I think we gotta figure out how to get singles events to hit the way we need them to hit, you know what I mean?
Oh wait, you're serious?
Yeah, that's not happening, sister. I mean, you've tried everything for singles events, but much like life in your 30s, you keep on repeating the same colossal dumpster fire over and over again. And that's because men are able to answer the question that you can't. Would you even want to be with somebody who attends singles events? And the self-respecting man's answer is simple: no. And the reason is even more simple. If you have to go to a singles event, that means you've either been run through and are desperate for a husband, or you're socially inept and desperate for a husband, or you are in desperate need of restocking your friend zone with some fresh simps while also being desperate for a husband. You can't trick us into going to something if we have no interest in going. You know, I'm not kidding, woman. You could have a free beer, pizza, and pinball tournament singles events, and even then, the dudes who actually show up want nothing to do with the women because, you know, the knowledge of pinball theory is up there with your ability to find a boyfriend. It's lacking to a pathetic degree.
That's funny because it's so true.
Hello everyone, today in honor of Pride Month I am going to share something extremely vulnerable with all of you. I'm going to put myself on blast in a certain way. In 2013, I went on the internet, I went on to Etsy.com and I purchased a t-shirt. The t-shirt had the lyrics to the Macklemore song Same Love. The t-shirt said, "No freedom till we're equal, damn right, I support it." And there were many times that year where I rolled up to my public school wearing that t-shirt with the Macklemore lyrics on it, proudly. Posted a photo of me wearing it to Instagram because I wanted everyone to know, like, ally. And by the way, I just also want to say, like, probably like one of the straightest people you've ever met. You best believe in 2013 I was like, gay rights. No freedom till we're equal, damn right I support it. I'm gonna show you the photo. Here we go. And I can't change, even if I tried. No freedom till we're equal, damn right I support it. Anyway, ally to this day probably would not wear the t-shirt with the dreaded Macklemore lyrics from Same Love on it out and about in the world. There are probably like better like pro-LGBTQ plus phrases that we can resort to now. I did wear this cringe shirt to high school all the time. I think I really did something.
Congratulations!
Alright, I'm a little confused here. Are you posting this drivel 8 years after the fact because you're ashamed or because you're proud? I honestly don't know anything about Macklemore, and unlike this woman, I actually have a life. Barely. So I'm not about to bother looking up the controversies of some pop artist from over a decade ago. But regardless of your intention, woman, it's completely pointless. Nobody cares about what you wore back in high school. I mean, if you look back to your era of high school, there are always guys who were wearing some cringe. Except for you guys in the mid-90s. Seriously, you couldn't go wrong with plaid shirts and ripped jeans. But you guys were freaking lucky. And lady, nobody cares if you're an ally of the LGBTQIA2S+ movement. And that's because you're not posting this to be an ally. You're a straight woman and nobody recognizes you for anything because you're one chromosome away from being considered a spawn of Satan. You want positive recognition because you live a life of privilege and you have nothing going for you. But if it's recognition you want, here's all I got to spare, sister. And to be honest, you're lucky to be getting this much.
Woo!
Hey!
A form of misogyny that I feel like is not named and shamed nearly enough is the way people talk about their pets. Like, we've sufficiently clowned the boy moms of the world. Where is this energy for the boy dog moms and the boy cat moms? Because there's a fucking lot of them. Or like the way people would talk about female dogs, like, oh, she's so spoiled, she's so bratty, she's so bossy. But they're boy dog. People will be like, POV, you have a boy dog. And it's just a dog doing what dogs do. Like, why are you bringing sex into this? I have a male dog and he's the biggest little diva I've ever met. He is a world-class diva.
And
Hang on a second. Are you saying that when people anthropomorphize their pets, which is something people have been doing for centuries, it's somehow tied to misogyny? Lady, when was the last time you actually did something? I mean, when was the last time you actually went outside when it wasn't for groceries and the restocking of your supply of alcohol? I mean, you strike me as the kind of woman who thinks sunlight was invented by the Nazis, so it would make sense that you'd be afraid of going outside because you're clearly bored and you have nothing to do with your time, so you sit around and somehow condemn people for wanting to record their pets and put it up on TikTok. I mean, your life must be in pure misery if you can't watch funny animal videos without feeling some form of contempt for humanity. At this point, it's only a matter of time when you figure out a way to say that breathing is some form of a gender privilege. I mean, I wouldn't put it past you. Your ability to make a massive hubbub out of nothing isn't impressive, but it is kind of dumbfounding.
yak.
Being aware of racial division
Get a job.
than I am.
God has someone that is perfect for you. Not someone who is perfect, but someone who is perfect for you. God has thought about who that person is long before you. And I know that right now it just feels like there aren't very many good options in the world, and like the possibility of actually finding a good person is so rare and so hard. But you have to remember that in your single season, there are things that are absolutely vital to your growth. In your single season, there are things that you are meant to learn to enjoy and flourish in and grow in and evolve in that are absolutely vital to who you will become.
Okay, God! Let me have it!
I gotta tell you, gentlemen and gents, one of the most fascinating things about this niche is how we're pretty much documenting the cognitive decline of the modern woman effectively in real time. It's like watching two high-speed trains hauling nuclear gasoline and watching them crash into each other in super slow motion. I mean, take this for instance. This woman has modified her insanity to fit the religion that she found 3 weeks ago. The only thing that changed about her were the words. She's still got the insane amount of filters. She's got that smooth skin makeup that makes her look inhuman, not to mention the rampant sense of entitlement. I mean, she's projected her insecurities onto the man upstairs so hard they are literally treating the dude in the sky as a dating app. They automatically assume that this guy is just going to deliver unto them a man as a reward for, I don't know, something. And they base this off of movies and a blind assumption of how they think the church works. But you don't, sweetheart. You're not fooling anybody.
On your own and in relationship. Some things have to be healed in that single season. And some things can only be healed in your relationship season. But in the process of that season, whichever season you're in, remember that God has someone perfect for you. Not a perfect person, but perfect for you. Somebody that will see your personality and love it. Someone that will see your quirks and love them. Someone that will have the patience and the understanding to know that you also are not a perfect person. So don't lose hope. Don't lose sight of the fact that God knows the things that you don't know. He sees the things that you don't see. He understands where you are mentally, physically, emotionally. And he understands where they are mentally, physically, and emotionally before he brings you together. God has a perfect person for you. Not a perfect person, but a perfect person for you.
Blasphemer!
Oh, lady, if the man upstairs knows what you don't know and sees what you don't see, then how do you know that he's going to give you a soulmate after you've completely destroyed your own life? By saying that's his plan, that would imply that you know exactly what the man is thinking and exactly what he's planning, which means that you're acting like you know more than the man upstairs. And I hate to break it to you, sister, but there's a lot of people who frown on that kind of thinking. But more importantly, what in the hell are you basing this off of? You're acting like this guy isn't the keeper of some of the greatest mysteries of all known existence, but more like a broken down Hallmark movie screenwriter who's one Jennifer McCarthy movie away from drinking himself into an eternal coma. You're forgetting yourself. You can beg and pray all you want, and those prayers are always answered. But sometimes the answer is
No.
If you are an educated woman, I would like for you to take this advice that I have started giving myself as well. If you have a degree of some kind, especially if you've got a degree that people like to debate with you on, like I've got a political science degree, and you know, people love to just think like, oh, well, anyone can be educated in politics, right? Something I have started to, and I'm also specifically calling out the women because I feel like it happens to women more, so I'm just gonna, go ahead, just saying that. But if you're a man, absolutely you can participate in this, but men are on thin ice. If someone starts to be like, oh, well, I know, and they're wrong, you can just say, I'm smarter than you. Just go, I'm smarter than you on this. I know more. I am more educated. I'm actually smarter than you. And they're going to pitch a fit, but you just go, baby, I'm smarter than you. And when they try to tell you shit, and they try to be like, oh, well, politics is a humanities degree, even though I got a BS in it, you say, I'm smarter than you.
That's stupid. You're stupid. Stop being stupid.
Woman, just because you paid $72,000 to get a piece of paper from an indoctrination camp doesn't make you smarter than anybody. If anything, it makes you just as dumb as the rest of the idiots who did the exact same thing. It's all in the language that you use, sweetheart. You claim to be educated, even though your first reaction to anybody who disagrees with you is mercurial arrogance. If you were truly educated, then you would actually be interested in civil discourse to understand what people are talking about. But you don't want to do that. You want to flaunt around your degree while arguing with construction workers as you refuse to take their lunch order at the fast food joint where you work. And the fact that you've been passed over for that fry cook promotion for the third time in a row just eats away at you as your education has provided you with absolutely nothing. But then again, I don't have me one of them fancy politics degrees, but I did have enough common sense to not get into crippling debt. But then again, I'm not as smart like you now, am I? So what do I know? Well, I do know that I want to give the warmest of welcomes to Kayla Cooper as the newest member of the Bounty Board over on Patreon. It really does bring tears to the glistening 2020 eyes of the intergalactic space god Hakmolakarp, all hail, and rumor has it that he bought an even bigger minivan to squire you to the barbecue water park in style. That's where all the fine members of the Bounty Board like to party when Skeeter has to close his Olympic-sized wave pool for the winter. All hail! And if you're interested in supporting the channel, check out the Bounty Board over on Patreon, where $5 a month gets you access to exclusive content you're not going to find on YouTube.
Instead of daily text messages, I want you to look for these particular things in the early stages of dating that can determine whether this person that you're dating is actually a good fit for you or not. Yes, I know a lot of us love the daily text messages, but you have to understand that every time he texts you, that's just a dopamine hit. Every single guy that I've ever dated texted me every single day, and guess what? They broke up with me 3 or 4 months later. That's why I don't give a fuck about daily text messages anymore. Instead, this is what I'm looking for. Number 1, how do I feel with this person? Can I be myself? Do I feel secure? Do I literally feel calm and safe in my body? Do I feel comfortable to be my quirky self, my flirty self, my fun self, and even like my serious self?
Not scientifically possible!
Hey, lady, you do realize that your feelings got you into this mess, right? The only people that matter are the men who give you the butterflies, and those men typically come in the form of Chad, Tyrone, Raphael, Marco, Pookie, Ray Ray, Gavin, Chang, Wang, Takeda, and Bronson. Your dopamine-addled brain will settle for nothing less, and any good man who does meet your comfort level will make you uncomfortable to the point where you'll start searching for flaws that'll pile up into a massive blowout as you cry as you break up with them for petty reasons. That's why you go for guys who will break up with you. Those are the men that you desire, and let's face it, you don't have a self. You have no identity. There's no difference between your fun self, your flirty self, or your serious self. It's all the same thing. It's an illusion that you created to desperately hope to find a guy who can't meet your ever-increasing list of hostage demands.
Which leads to number 2. What's the quality of the conversations that you're having? Are you just talking about work? Are you just talking about superficial stuff? Or can you go from having like a fun, flirty, laughing conversation to something a little more challenging or more deep? Or can you talk about exes? Can you talk about challenges? Can you talk about things you've gone through? The quality of your conversation can say a lot about somebody.
Shut up, you don't exist.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work either, sweetheart. You can't hold a conversation to save your life. At the rate you're talking, we can safely assume that the dude you're talking at wouldn't get a word in edgewise. And even if he did find rare opportunities to speak, you'll just commandeer the conversation to talk about your favorite subject of all time, yourself. And you'll spill out everything: your college party years that left you psychologically damaged, every single ex that proves you have trust issues, and the intentional withholding of bedroom fun for an arbitrary set period of time just proves that you're not capable of respect. And he's not going to be dumb enough to trust you with pieces of his past when you're trauma dumping all over him. The last thing he needs is to be psychologically wounded by one of the biggest dullards in the universe.
Number 3, do we align in values, morals, ideologies, lifestyle, and where we want to go in life? Like, do you genuinely have a connection on a spiritual level, an emotional level, a physical level, a mental level? I mean, you got to date somebody who you actually want to spend life with, right? You should be assessing for those things. Yeah.
Wrong! That's wrong!
So in other words, you want a rich, handsome, confident, driven, but not obsessed spiritual man who also agrees with your textbook liberal talking points that someone else forced you to recite, huh? Yeah, good luck with that one, sister. Even if that man was real, which rest assured he most certainly is not, why would he want to be with you? You've already made it clear that you're putting demands on men as if you're worth that kind of effort. You've not listed off one quality about yourself that would make you even remotely appealing. You're acting like your mere existence is somehow a golden chariot to a land where all of the nachos are always free or something. But answer me this, darling. Why would any man go through all of that for a woman who's already made it clear that she's not going to do a damn thing to make the relationship work? And no, your looks, even when you were in your prime, do not count.
And number 4, can I be my best self, the best version of myself when I'm with this person? See, you want to date somebody who brings out the best in you, especially in the early stages of dating. If you're around them and you feel triggered because they're triggered or they're reactive or they're, the way they treat other people doesn't make you feel safe, and so you feel like you have to cower about like we don't have time for that shit. You want to be your best version when you're with them. So as you're dating, yes, we like the text messages, but look for these more important factors instead.
That's not my problem. It's yours.
Okay, so not only does the man need to be good looking, he needs to be rich, funny, self-actualized in every possible way, but he almost must be the burden of trying to motivate you to actually do stuff. Why is it his responsibility to make you into your best self? I mean, shouldn't you want that for yourself anyway? Why do you need a man to do that for you? Now, don't get me wrong, it makes sense. We already do everything for you anyway. You need a man to change your flat tire, reach for something off the top shelf, fixing a leaky faucet. You need us to pay for your dinners and plan dates so you don't have to bother with it. Not to mention his never-ending mission to make you feel impossibly happy every single day without fail. So it's only natural that you'd need a man to get you to give a crap about your own life. I mean, why not? How can you handle having a life when you're so mentally fragile that you'll have a mental breakdown at the mere thought of having to open your own jars? And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, and be sure to share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you once again for checking out the new video, gentlemen and gents, and until next time, peace out, homies.